Today we are going to discuss the variances questions. First of all, we will do a question. It is relevant with the material mix and yield variance. Choc company is a company which manufactures and sells three types of biscuits in packets. One of them is called O's and contains three types of sweeteners, honey, sugar and syrup. The standard material usage and cost for 1 unit of O's is as follows. So it is the material mix and yield variance question because here we have more than one raw material. So we are using three different materials. It means it is material mix and yield variance. 20 grams is standard usage per unit, 15 grams, 10 grams, and the standard price per gram is 0.02, 0.03, and 0.025. In the 3 month ended 30th of November, Choc Company produced 1,000 units of O's using 2200 kgs of honey, 1400 kgs of sugar, and 1050 kgs of syrup. Note there are 1000 grams in kgs. So, but these values are given in the grams rather than kgs. But here you can see that it is given in the kgs. So we will convert these grams into kgs as well. Chalk company has used activity-based costing to allocate its overheads for a number of years. One of the main overhead is machine setup cost in the 3 month period ended 31st of November to 30th of November 2011. Following information was available in relation to setup cost. So we are not focusing on the activity-based costing. We are just focusing on these three variances which are called material usage, mix, and quantity variances. So our focus is to solve these variances. First of all, we will solve material usage variance. Material usage variance. First of all, we will calculate standard usage for each material. Standard usage is also known as standard yield. So one by one we will solve standard usage or standard yield of honey. So it is equal to what? We have 20 grams, 20 divided by 1000 into 101,000 units. Then we have after honey, we will calculate similar standard usage or standard yield of sugar. 15 divided by 1000 into 101,000. Syrup, then we have syrup is equal to 10 divided by 1000 converting into kgs into 101,000. So these are what? These are the standard usage or standard yield for each one of the raw material. Now we will calculate what? We will calculate usage variance. So first of all, usage variance, honey. So the formula is standard usage, which is 2020, minus actual usage, which is 2200, into standard price per gram, which is 0.02. So usage variance is in adverse. We will not consider this minus or plus, but it is adverse. Why is it adverse? It is adverse because our actual usage is greater than what? Our actual usage is greater than standard usage. That's why we have usage variance of honey is adverse. Now we will calculate usage variance of sugar is equal to standard usage is 1515 minus actual usage of sugar is 1400. Actual usage is less than the standard into standard price per kg 0.03. So 3.45 is what? 3.45 is favorable because actual usage is less than the standard usage. Third one is what? Third one is syrup. Third one is syrup is equal to what is the standard usage 1010 minus what is actual usage? Actual usage is 1050 into standard price per kg is 0.025. So we have minus 1. Why? Because actual usage is greater than what? Actual usage is greater than the standard usage. So here we have usage variance. We can calculate what? We can calculate net of all the three answers is equal to, this one is in a minus, plus this, and the plus this. So we have what? We have 1.15 adverse. Why we have adverse? Because two adverse are greater than the one favorable. So the net answer is 1.15 adverse. Now, net of yield and mix variances must be same. Now we will solve first of all mix variances, then yield variances, and after that we will get the answer, and sum of those variances must be equal to 1.15. Why? Because mix and yield variances are sub-variances of this usage variance. So now we will calculate mix variances. To calculate mix variances, first of all, we need standard mix of honey is equal to, here we have 20 grams. We are converting it to kgs multiplied by. Now to multiply, we need total actual usage. And we did not calculate what is the total actual usage. So now we will add what is the total actual usage is equal to 2200 from honey plus 1400 from sugar plus 1050 from syrup. So 1450 kgs are what? 1450 kgs are the total actual usage. So standard mix of honey is 2 divided by 1000, converting into kgs and then multiplying with the total actual usage, which is 4650. So 93 is the standard mix. And this 93 is multiplied by, sorry, I made a mistake, divided by, let me convert all the values in kgs. Now we need standard usage per unit is equal to this one 20 gram plus 15 plus 10 and converting into kgs. So 0.045 kgs per unit. Kgs per unit. It is standard usage per unit. Now we will calculate standard mix. Standard usage of honey, which is 20 grams, we can convert into kgs. So 20 divided by what? 20 divided by 1000. 20 divided by 1000 it is standard mix, standard kgs. Now, this standard kgs divided by total standard usage per unit and multiplied by total actual kgs, 4650. So 2066 kgs are the standard mix of honey. Now we will use the same way to calculate sugar. 15 divided by 1000. Now we will calculate usage. 15 divided by total standard usage per unit, or 0.015 divided by 0.045 multiplied by 4650. 1550 for sugar. Then we have syrup. 10 divided by 1000. Now 0.01 divided by total standard usage per unit, 0.045 into 4650. So this is the standard mix of honey, sugar and syrup. Now we will do what? We will calculate mix variance. Material mix variance honey is equal to standard mix of honey minus actual mix of honey, which is 2200, into standard price per gram, 0.02. Now we have kgs, that's why we will convert this price into per kg rather gram, or we can use right now for the time being 0.267 adverse. Why? Because standard mix is 2067, we should use 2067, but we are doing what? We are consuming 2200, that's why we have adverse. Next one is sugar. Standard mix 1550 minus actual mix is 1400 into per gram is 0.03. It is favorable. Next one is syrup. Standard usage 1033 minus what? Minus 1050 into what? Into price 0.025. So we have what? We have adverse. So this is what? This is your mix variance. If I add up all these values of mix variance, what would be the answer? This plus this plus this. So the net one is favorable. Why? Because the second one is favorable with the greater value in comparison with rest of the two. Now we will calculate what? We will calculate yield variance. Material yield variance. First we are calculating honey. Standard yield means standard mix minus, sorry, standard yield, this is the standard yield, which is also called standard usage, minus what? Minus standard mix into what? Into price per gram. So we have adverse. Next one is sugar. standard yield minus actual mix into standard price per gram. This one is also adverse. Next one is syrup. So standard usage or standard yield minus this standard mix into 0.025. So we have adverse over here. So this plus this plus this. We have 0.25 negative or adverse from all the variances. Next is to do what? Next is to calculate net variance is equal to what? This is 1.04 favorable, sum of all the mix, and sum of all the yield is adverse. Net answer is 1.15. As I told you that sum of the mix and yield variance must be equal to the sum of usage variance, and sum of usage variance is also minus 1.15, or alternatively we can call it adverse. One thing which you need to remember, here we use the values of kgs when we were determining the uh, variances, but we were multiplied with the gram. So ideally what we should do, we should convert this price of the grams into kgs. So we need to do what? We need to divide it by the 1000. So if I use brackets everywhere and convert this price into my kgs, then answer will be in the decimals, and these figures are not given in 100,000, so it will not change our uh, total answer. It will just change the decimals because we are matching the values of kgs with the kgs. Similarly, we will do over here. We have 0.02 per gram, but to convert it to kgs, we have to divide this price as well. So now we are converting this value. So it changed the final answer. Once again, this one. Now the next one. This one remains 0.025 divided by 1000, and the last one same 0.025 divided by 1000. So you can see that these are uh, so now you can see that sum of the usage variance is equal to sum of mix and yield variances. So almost answer is same and both are adverse. This was material mix and usage variance. Any question related to these way workings?